Now we're going to create your patch pocket, and to find the position that we're going to use using drill holes on the back of your pants. And a reminder that I'm using a pen to make this visible for you guys on screen, but when you're pattern making, you should always be using a mechanical pencil or a really nicely sharpened lead pencil. Okay, 15 centimeters for the first side, 12 centimeters across the top. I'm using my grading ruler to find a nice sharp right angle. 12. Oops. Spinning that around, find the 15. And then the 12 across the bottom. Okay, so we've got 2 centimeters across the top for the hem, the opening of the pocket, and then 12 millimeters seam allowance all the way around. Before we put our seam allowance on, we're going to make that shaping of the bottom corners. So I'm measuring 2 centimeters from the corner across the bottom and up the side, and then drawing that line down like that. And again on the other corner, 2 centimeters and 2 centimeters, and cutting that line across to get that pocket shaping. Now I'm ready to put my seam allowance all the way around, so 12 mils down the side, 12 mils across the bottom, and then up the other side. And 2 centimeters across the top. So rather than measuring like this with my grading ruler, remember you can use the grading ruler on the long side and place it like this. Okay, I'm going to extend across here to find the notch positions. For the seam allowances. I'm also going to place on my grain line. Now the grain line for this pocket will be parallel with the sides of the pocket. So I can place my ruler in line with the side of the pocket and draw my grain line on like that. And now to cut it out. When you guys are doing your pockets using pencil, you'll be able to rub out these original lines so that you don't get confused by them. Okay, when I'm notching my paper patterns, I find that the notches often chew the paper rather than cutting through it really nicely. So what I recommend you do, you either get another piece of paper or a little scrap piece of card to make that notching nice and clean. So I'm notching across here for these seam all the way around, and I'm going to notch here for my 20 mils, my 2 centimeter fold at the top of the pocket. Okay, for the labeling, 6 pieces of information: my name, the garment, the piece, size 10, cutting instruction, cut 1 pair self, and we can finish the numbering later. So now I'm ready to find the position for this to go onto my pants. So I've traced off my block. I've already lowered my waistband 4 centimeters and I've got my dart marked in. So I'm ready now to find the positions for the drill holes for my patch pocket. There's 2 ways that you can do it. One way is to use a tracing wheel. Another way that might be easier is to fold in your seam allowance. You don't need to do the bottom, just the side and the top, so that we get the pocket as if it's been prepped and it's ready for sewing. So folding away our seam allowances on the side and then folding down the top. Okay, so that's our first step. Now our second step is remembering, like in the order of construction, before you can apply a pocket to the back, this dart will be stitched and closed. So we now need to cut away this top edge of the paper and pin that dart closed. So I'm going to fold the dart leg, fold along the dart leg, and then holding the end of the dart, close the dart and place a pin to stop it from bouncing open again. So this way we can also see the shaping that started to be created by the dart. Now I'm going to mark up 1.5 or 2 centimetres, that's up to you, we don't mind, for the position of the placement of the pocket. So I'm going to mark up 1.5. What you will often see, what you usually see on pants, whether they're male or female, is that the back dart is concealed inside the top of a pocket, whether that's a welt pocket or a patch pocket. It's just a nice way to hide the end of the dart. So now I'm going to roughly place the center of the top edge of my pocket on that position there where the line is. Actually, it's opening a little bit more, so I'm going to get another pin to close that section down there. You can also use masking tape. Okay, so placing my pocket in that position. Now the decision for you as designers will be, what angle is my pocket sitting at? So you can have your pocket running parallel with the center back seam, but you can see when you do that, you start to create, the top edge of the pocket is sitting at a strong angle to the waist and away from the side seam. So usually we find a position that's a little bit of a compromise between these 3 curving lines. So I'm going to find a position that's roughly parallel as it can be to the waist, the side and the center back. And then I'm going to mark that position with a pen here around the corners. Now removing the pins, what we have is the position for our drill holes. And the drill holes will be 5 millimeters in from the top and the bottom of each of those corners, here and here. Okay, once you've marked your drill holes, make sure that you use your stiletto to actually put holes in your patterns. If your holes are not there, you won't be able to mark the drill holes on your own cut work. So I've marked those holes. I'm going to circle them in red and label them. The labeling will be patch pocket placement. Patch pocket placement drill holes. At this stage, while we're finishing the back of the pant, don't forget to also move your drill hole up 15 millimeters from the end of your dart. So placing your ruler, take your ruler to the center of the dart, which is where the point is. Place the ruler on the end, and then you can find your 15 mil point. Also circling this one in red, using the stiletto to make the hole and labeling it. It's particularly important to label these 3 darts drill holes separately, as they will be confusing down the track if you end up trying to use this one to place your pocket, or if you try and use one of these as dart drill holes. So this one we will label dart drill hole. So 15 millimeters past. And there you have finished your patch pocket and your drill hole placement markings.